Good afternoon. I'm Rich Beck, Commissioner of Allen County, the President of the Board of Commissioners. On behalf of my fellow Commissioners, Therese Bound and Nelson Peters, I want to welcome you to the 2021 presentation of the Jerry and Linda Vandeveer Award. Commissioners announced this program back in 2016, and this was to be given and presented annually to individual or individuals who reside in Allen County and have lived a life of service to our community outside their regular profession. Nominees for the Vandeveer Impact Award are evaluated based on 4 criteria. First is vision and action, seeing a need in the community and taking the steps to meet that need. Secondly, it's selflessness and sacrifice, devoting their time and energy in the service to their community without seeking recognition or award. Thirdly, it's commitment and perseverance, working through difficulties and challenges to achieve their goal. And fourthly, it's the impact, making a positive impact in their community through their work and serving as encouragement for others to do likewise. Past recipients of the award have been Dan and Judy Wire for their work to clean up and reuse the local rivers and their efforts to revitalize the Wells Street corridor. Bob Weirley for his efforts to preserve Smith Airfield and help persons dealing with drug addiction. Alex Cornwell for being a strong voice and an advocate for the community of Waynedale. Marissa Rang for her working to improve the quality of communication between emergency services and persons with severe communication disabilities. And Josh and Jenny Hardup, for working extensively with Guns and Hoses charity, which provides assistance to first responders and their families. And here now to announce the winner for the 2021 Vandeveer Impact Award is Commissioner Nelson Peters.
Thanks, Commissioner. I was really anticipating a drum roll, but we'll wait for the next time. It is such a pleasure to be here before us. Some of these guys have already heard this story, but I think it's worth sharing again. One of the things that I do on the nerd side of my life is play with amateur radio. And we used to bring a thing called Field Day out here in the 90s, and we would set up and we would actually talk to people in the field in Desert Storm. It was so neat to be able to do that, and I am standing just about where we set up that tent. Now, you fast forward from those days to 30 years removed, and I hate to even be able to talk in those terms, but that was about 30 years ago. You've got this structure here. You've got a museum that's been cleaned up in a remarkable way. You've got other monuments that are out here. And today, we've got the Vietnam Wall. It doesn't happen without a whole lot of work. It doesn't happen without a whole lot of volunteer work. I know just in the time that we've had conversations with Local 2209 out of General Motors, and Pat Frazier and Eric Johnson and Greg Bedford, and just the whole rest of these guys back here have done such a remarkable job taking this thing, bringing it up from the ashes, bringing it up from the field that I used to stand in to what it is now. And you know what? They're not done. I know the passion of these guys, and I know that you're going to see more and more out here. I know they are not done. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute pleasure today to tell you that this year's Jerry and Linda Vandeveer Award recipients are the entire board of the Veterans Shrine and Museum Board. Thanks so much to all of you guys, and God bless you.
And it's always tough to follow Nelson Peters. Tell you what. Well, as Rich mentioned at the outset of this, this award was created back in 2016, and its namesakes are Linda and Jerry Vandeveer. You know, Linda and Jerry have been catalysts for positive change in our community, and whether it was through making improvements in the Baker Fairfield neighborhood where they lived and worked, or their tireless advocacy for police and firefighters. They are perhaps best known in the community for their work creating and maintaining the Allen County Law Enforcement and Firefighters Memorial on North Wells Street. The Board of Commissioners wanted to create something that would pay both tribute to this tremendous couple while also recognizing those individuals who perform similar good work and deeds for the betterment of our community. The Vandeveers have always preferred to stay out of the limelight and wanted the focus to be on the cause or project they were working on. Through the Impact Award, we wish to recognize, like those of Linda and Jerry, who have had a positive impact without seeking recognition or reward. We want to showcase persons who have made a commitment to meet a need in our community and whose devotion of time and energy serves as encouragement to others to do likewise. Sadly, Linda Vandeveer lost her battle with stage 4 terminal cancer on September 29, 2016. But before her passing, we were able to share with her our plans for this award, and despite her weakened condition, she was able to express her appreciation. Meantime, Jerry has continued to make positive impact throughout Allen County, continuing to maintain and care for the Allen County Law Enforcement Firefighters Memorial, promoting efforts that bring attention to the issue of domestic violence, and installing billboards which display positive images about the importance of health screenings, honoring the work of public safety officials and responders, and highlighting the contributions of women in the community. Now it's my pleasure to introduce to you Jerry Vanderveer and his son, Jerry Jr., for some comments as well as the presentation of this award. Jerry?
Thank you, guys. Wow, yes, thank you. Once again, I'd like to thank the commissioners, tell you how humbled we are to have this award named after myself and Linda. Over the last 5 years, we've been honored to be in the company of several very deserving honorees. When the commissioners announced the recipient of this year's award, I was elated. The Veterans Memorial Shrine and Museum has always held a spot in my heart for a couple reasons. First, I'm a veteran, and second, because it's a place for veterans and family members to reflect and meditate while remembering their loved one. This is just over 50 years ago, after graduating from basic training, the members of my squad talked about having a reunion in a few years. They all took off for AIT on buses, and I got stationed at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Years later, I received a letter from one of the guy's sisters letting me know that they wouldn't be having a reunion because none of the boys from my squad, which shipped over to Vietnam, ever came back. Whew. So how ironic this is that 50 years after making a vow to have a reunion. Can you do this?
Yeah. So how ironic this is that after 50 years after making a vow to have a reunion, I'm standing here and they're on the wall over there. I don't remember their names, but I have their pictures and now I have their memories close and finally a reunion. So thank you to everyone involved in bringing this wall, memorial, shrine, and museum to our hearts and our community.
Thank you. Okay, now it's yours.
And, that's the thing that we have to remember is while it may be very easy to jump onto social media or do something like that, you're not an activist if that's all you're doing. You're not doing anything. All you're doing is making a statement that may or may not do anything. The real activity happens when individuals like these men and women and people in our community actually get up and do something. If you want change, stop talking about it, get up and do it. And then we'll see this change. That's how memorials happen. That's how remembrances are made. That's how these things, these changes that we want to see happen in our world. It's not you talking about it, it's you getting up and making something happen. No matter how small it is, just start it. We're not, special people or anything like that. We live in a normal house in a small neighborhood. We weren't rich, we weren't anything special, but they did something. And from that, we have things. And just like these men who valiantly went and defended our country, they came back and made something happen. And I can't thank you guys enough for doing what you do.
Let me go.
Now, on behalf of the commissioners of Allen County, the Vandeveer family, and the community that loves the Veterans Memorial, we are honored to present to you the Linda and Jerry Vandeveer Impact Award for 2021. Go ahead.
Wow. Jerry, you got a tear in me again. We did this project, the latest one, the Vietnam Memorial Wall, for the men and women that served over there and for people just like you. That wall is important, folks, for many reasons. But our founder, Eric Scott, and his wife, Cleo, their mission was that no veteran would ever be forgotten. And we started our mission when we took this place over in 2017 with bringing that wall here. And it has been nothing but a labor of love, and it has received a tremendous amount of community support. So to be recognized by the Vandeveer family, but more importantly by the county commissioners and the community that we live in, to receive this award in 2021, the sixth Linda and Jerry Vandeveer Award, it's very humbling. And for that, I say thank you. And I want to say one more thing. This project could not have been done without the work of this board right here, one of the best group of people that I've ever worked with.
I would like to introduce loan manager Bailey Froome and mortgage supervisor Chris Powell from the Fire Police City County Federal Credit Union.
All right.
Fire Police City County Federal Credit Union was approached by an anonymous donor who felt the desire to show their appreciation of the recipient of the Linda and Jerry Vandeveer Impact Award for the work they are doing to enrich our community. This anonymous donor has entrusted the credit union with a generous donation that will reward each year's recipient of the Linda and Jerry Vandeveer Impact Award of $250. In addition, this year we were approached by a second anonymous donor who has contributed an additional $300. We are very honored to be a part of this award and extend our appreciation to the Veterans National Memorial Shrine and Museum and their contribution to our community.
Thank you. I'll get on this side, Pat. Hold on this side. Outstanding. Outstanding. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bailey. I'd just like to say, on behalf of the Veterans Shrine and Jerry Vandeveer and the foundation, every little bit helps us. Pat and I have been out on the streets for the last year raising money for the wall. We're done with the wall. We're on a new project now, and we're not going to stop. It's like Nelson said, we're not done yet. And the improvements continue. The monuments will continue. A new museum is in the works. We also have the Sterling Chapel from the Daughters of the American Revolution that is going to be built next spring. So we have a lot on the drawing board. We're thankful for this donation and thank the credit union for passing this along to us, and we'll get it in the bank today. But I'd like to say one thing. This wouldn't have been possible if my mother-in-law, who's 97 years old, hadn't seen this in the newspaper. And it says applications are being taken. So she gave it to my wife, who then gives it to my son. And he says, yeah, Dad, we had to put the shrine in. I said, whatever you want to do. So he did this all on his own, filled out the paperwork, and he just called me before the ceremony started, and I thanked him for it. And I said, Marshall, I appreciate you thinking about us. There's been a ton of hard work. There's been literally hundreds of people who have helped us, from construction workers to carpenters, to masons, to guys that work in excavating, do finish work, help us with the museum, and it's all volunteer. And none of us get paid to do any of this. And like Greg said, I think he summed it up, it's a labor of love. And as Vietnam veterans, and Paulie knows, and Pat and myself, Greg Benicki, and the other guys that served, supported that wall. But it's not just Vietnam, it's remembering veterans. And this Saturday, we got a 20-mile ride across the city of Fort Wayne to raise awareness for veteran suicide. So this is just another element of what we're doing to help this community become more aware of what's going on with veterans today, and it's a serious problem. The Pentagon just announced that suicides are up 15% in the military, and they don't know why. Well, guess what? If you've ever served in war and come home, you'll know why. And we appreciate this donation and everybody that helps support our cause and what's going on at the Veterans Memorial. Thank you so much.
Real fast. As you know, the wall is important for honoring the men and women who had passed and fought for our freedom. But as you can see through Jerry Vandeveer how much this wall means to the families left behind. That's what's important. It's called a reunion, a final closure, and that's what we have here today. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Pat. Any closing remarks?
Thank you all. In closing, I would like to tell you a little story. And that is, I've been working for a couple of years with a group called Brave Hearts and Trail to Zero. And they kept telling me that Fort Wayne was too small because typically they go to New York City, Chicago, Washington, D.C., St. Louis, Lexington. But I told them that, we'd still be interested. And then when I found out the wall was coming here, I called up Megan. I said, Megan, would it make any difference if I told you we're getting a replica wall, not a traveling wall, a permanent replica wall? And she said, absolutely. The next thing I did is put her in touch with these guys. And that made all the difference in the world. They're coming here this weekend. They'll be here tonight, as a matter of fact. And these guys made that happen. So, and I've been working with them for the last 8 months, and what a great group to work with. So thank you, guys. I appreciate it. That concludes today. If you have questions, I'm sure these guys will have all the answers for you. Thank you.
The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily represent those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting group. If you or anyone you know might be interested in making a television show, please call 260-421-1250. Access Fort Wayne is a department of the Allen County Public Library.
I'm Allen County Commissioner Nelson Peters, congratulating Access Fort Wayne on 40 years of service to our community.